Yo, what is going on? Honestly, if I'm being real with you, I haven't recorded a podcast for like 2, 3 weeks. Not sure because we got so many backlogged and I haven't been releasing them because my YouTube channel hasn't caught up with the amount of podcast episodes we have out now. So you may be hearing this 5 weeks from now, but this is evergreen content, so it don't matter. So yeah, in this episode, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest things that I see holding people back from achieving, the success that they want to achieve, building a business and being a full-fledged entrepreneur. So yeah, let's have a word from our sponsors. That took a little bit long. I don't know why there was a big long break there. No, because I heard a van outside, so I was like, wow, will that come into the recording? Hopefully it doesn't. Let's have a word from our sponsors and we'll come back and get back into it. This episode of the Jay Cartere Show Podcast is sponsored by me at growonyoutube.com. If you want to grow your YouTube gaming channel, then growonyoutube.com is the place to go. I just released my new book, A Gamer's Guide to Greatness, which will show you how to grow your YouTube gaming channel and turn it into a business. You can get that at growonyoutube.com/guide. If you want to grow your YouTube gaming channel and turn it into your career, make a full-time living, become a full-time YouTube gamer, actually build a business around it, then this book is for you. If you just want to live off AdSense and become a big YouTuber and be broke, then this book is not for you. It's not for anyone who wants overnight success or anything like that. But go to growonyoutube.com/guide if you think this will be helpful for you. You can see the reviews of happy customers who have purchased the book already and are now using the strategies in there to grow their own YouTube gaming channels. Now, I basically created the book that I wish I would have had when I first started out on YouTube. I've spent a variety of years. I think I started in around 2011 and I did a lot of experiments, a lot of research, a lot of trial and error in order to find out what actually works. So I've distilled all of that and put it into this book, this guide, so you guys can know what works and grow your YouTube gaming channel. I've grown my YouTube gaming channel to over 24,000 subscribers. When this comes out, it'll probably be even more than that. I don't know. It's continually growing. It's always growing and it's going to continue growing because I know what works. I know what works now and I've put that in this book to show you what works. And if you want that, go to growonyoutube.com/guide. Now let's get into the episode. So I've actually just got up an hour ago, so you know them ones. You know them ones, B. Mind is not super frazzled. We should be able to conduct a good podcast and get these thoughts out. But basically, the biggest thing, I'm just going to start off and give it to you. The biggest thing that most people struggle with is just starting and going in the right direction. Like, well, going in some direction is better than no direction at all. Like, that is just so important. And I was watching a video by a gentleman called Miles Beckler a few weeks ago. And this video basically said how, I'm not sure if this is the right one. I watched a bunch of his videos. There was a video that said how entrepreneurship is messy. And there was a video that said that you really don't know what's gonna work until you look back and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it's true. Hindsight is 2020. Like, you may look at some endeavors that I've been involved in and you may be like, okay, like that was successful. Jay must know what he's doing, or he knew what to do to become successful. I'm not able to do that. But the truth is, I'm just willing to do the work. I'm willing to do the work and test, and I'm willing to fail. I've failed many, many, many times. I've tried many things that didn't work. Many things. Or I've tried things and it didn't work at first, and then I learned how to make it work later down the line. Like when I first started my Patreon, I begged I begged people to support the channel so that I could continue making YouTube content. And you know what happened? one person became a patron. Thank you, that one person. I forgot what his name is, but that one person became a patron. He's not a patron anymore. But I got one patron out of it. One patron was great and stuff, but it wasn't enough. It definitely wasn't enough to pay the bills. Like, I think it was maximum $10. I don't even remember the actual amount. But it wasn't enough to pay the bills, wasn't enough to continue making as much content as I did. But I kept making the content anyways because I knew that if I kept on doing that and I kept on putting stuff out, eventually it would pay off. And eventually it's paying off, B. Eventually it's paying off. Slowly but surely it's paying off. And it's so important to just finish things. Finish things. It doesn't matter if you fail. Finish things. Don't do things half-assed. Don't half do something. Make sure you finish things. It really doesn't matter how bad it is when it's finished, because when you finish something, you're able to look back and look on it and be like, okay, that was crap because I did that and that. I won't do that next time. Or those things were good. I'll make sure I take that into my next project. When you don't finish things, it's like you don't really get to that point where you can look back on a full finished product and be like, okay, these are the pros, these are the cons, and all that sort of stuff, and be able to analyze it and do better in the future. Now, my YouTube channel, when I started that, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea. I just created a YouTube channel in order to post music videos, in order to promote my music, because I wanted to be a big musician. That was my goal. And that is what I did. My first music video got a nice amount of views. It got like 500, which was great. It was fucking amazing to get 500 views on my first music video, which was shit. It was filmed with a Sony Handycam that my brother had, which wasn't even great. And it was filmed in my room, and we weren't even moving around. It was like me and a couple people. And yeah, I was just rapping this okay song. I think it's still okay. I don't think it was too bad. It wasn't the worst thing that I've ever done. I've definitely did worse songs that were on that first mixtape, but I did that to promote the mixtape, to promote the music and all that sort of stuff. I always had a real vision in mind when I made YouTube videos. It wasn't just like I'm putting YouTube videos up to be a YouTuber. But I didn't know what I was doing in terms of SEO. I didn't know what I was doing in terms of content strategy, in terms of real marketing. Like, I spent years researching marketing, copywriting, SEO, experimenting with YouTube SEO, all that sort of stuff to get to the point where I'm at now, where I know what works. If I wanted to grow my YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers, I could put that work in, and that would happen within the next, I don't know how long it's going to take. I can't really, predict that, but I could get on the path to go there. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a real business. I don't really care about the number of subscribers or anything like that, because subscribers don't pay the bills. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys all the time. Like, subscribers don't really pay the bills. But we're getting into that subject again. Basically, didn't know what I was doing at first. Then I started making GTA videos to promote the music. Didn't know what I was doing then. Made over 100 videos. 100 videos finished, published up in the ecosystem. Looking at what other people were doing, look at what was working, trying those things out, learning what worked for me, what didn't work for me. And then I saw certain videos pop off and I was like, okay, that works. When I saw how to take a stripper home from the club with you worked, I knew that would work because it's got a stripper in it. But I learned that, it's a how-to video. It's a tutorial video. Tutorial videos are going to rank in search. It's going to bring more people in. So I learned that. I did more how-to videos, how to make GTA Online work. I did that when the GTA Online thing just came out and no one could get on. And I was able to get on. I was able to get on for like a second or something. I was able to get past the certain roadblock that everyone else was having. And I posted that video, and that video still brings in views and subscribers today. A guy just told me he subscribed this week. He told me that he subscribed because of that video. And I'm like, I personally, in my mind, I'm like, that video is so outdated. Why would you subscribe for that video? Like, why would you even watch that video now? Why do you need to know how how to make GTA Online works? It works now. It works. All you need to do is log in. But people are still watching that video because I finished it and I put it up and I did experiments. I learned what worked and I tried to see what would continue to work and all that sort of stuff. And you learn what works by doing a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. That's just the way it is. You don't wake up one day and you have a great idea and you put it into practice and it works automatically and you're successful overnight. Like, maybe some people get lucky like that, but I think the majority of us, that's not the way it's going to work out. That's just not the way it's going to work out. So you need to be willing to put in the time, put in the work, be consistent, and you need to be finishing things and be willing to fail. You need to be so willing to fail. So, you know, past the GTA videos and all that sort of stuff, I made a video on how to write a rap song, which I didn't expect to do anything, to be honest. I expected to go nowhere. I didn't know how to use SEO at the time, didn't know what I was really doing. I just thought this would be a good video to make because I'm a rapper. And I saw other people making videos on how to make a rap song. I was like, these videos are shit. These videos are whack. And the types of rap that these guys were making were the cheesiest songs ever. So I was like, oh my God, these people can't rap. What are they doing teaching people how to make a rap song? So I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And I made that. When I look back, that video is super cringy. I don't like it because I was trying to be what I'm not. I was trying to be, you know, those high energy YouTubers that are like, hey guys, you know, that sort of shit, which I don't like doing. I just like being real. So I was doing that. I was trying to be a little bit zany and that sort of stuff, but it worked. It works. Like, that's probably my first video that's going to hit 1 million views. I actually haven't checked the views in a while. I need to go back and check to see if it's hit 1 million now, but it's over 900,000. And when I first released it, I think it was probably on like 50 or something like that in a few weeks. And then in a few months, when my channel was, I had a channel strike on it, so I wasn't making any money from it, I saw that that video was at 50,000. I was like, oh, look at all this fucking money I'm missing out on, you bastards. And then it went to 100,000, then 200, and 300, and 400, and now 900. It just kept on going because I put in that work in years ago. And obviously I've refined it over the years. I've learned how to use SEO, so I've gone back and actually bumped that up and made sure I'm doing that. And it's still ranking like number 3 for how to write a rap song, which is mad. It's so mad because that search term is so competitive. And I had no idea that I'd rank for something so competitive. That happens to me sometimes. Like, I'll rank for a very, very competitive search term. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Didn't expect that. But the fact is, I put in the work. I finished the project with no guarantees that it would work. That's what you got to do. And with my latest business, the ArcPS4servers.com site, I made this business on the back of my ARC content because, like, people on my channel, most people are subscribing to me these days for my ARC content, which is all good and great. Like, I played ARC last year and a bunch of people liked it. I made a bunch of tutorials and stuff and people kept on telling me, yo, go back to ARC when I tried to play other games. And I was like, no, not doing that until the unofficial servers came out. And then I was able to rent my own server, which gave me another income stream because I was able to create a server and allow people to become patrons for that server to support the server. And, shit, sorry about that. And to get certain packages on the server. So I did that. And then I was making a bunch of videos around how to set up your server and server tutorials and that sort of stuff for server owners, because I was just answering the questions that I had when I was starting out to deal with my server, because it's not straightforward. And Nitrado, the company I rent the server from, they don't have the best knowledge base. Like, I don't have a bunch of videos. I think the main company is it's in another language. It's not even English. So I thought, there's a gap in the market there. No one is really doing a bunch of server tutorials. It's time for me to do that and give people something which I know people need, because I needed it. So every time I learned how to do something, I made a video on it. And I wasn't expecting those videos to get 10,000, 100,000 views or anything like that. I just knew that I was solving a specific problem for a specific type of person. And I kept on doing that. Every time I learn something, I make a video on it. And then I partnered up with Nitrado and started advertising them in the beginning of those videos, which enabled me to bring in some affiliate income, which was all good. And also, I got a message on one of my community posts from a gentleman who asked me to help him promote his server. And when I saw that message, I obviously inquired a little bit further, and he didn't end up purchasing any services because, you know, that's how the game goes sometimes. Sometimes people just inquire or say that they're ready to purchase something, but they don't put their money where their mouth is. That's how the game go, B. So I saw that, but then from that, I learned that there was a need for that. There was a need for that. And prior to that, I had seen other server listing sites online where people would list their servers and that sort of stuff, and they just looked shit. They looked so shit, so unprofessional. They looked terrible. And I looked into it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make my own server listing site. And I did that. First of all, I released a book and dealt with all that for like 2 months, and then I released arcps4servers.com. And I knew this was going to be the main business for my channel for, you know, the next year or so, as I was focusing on Arc, and I've got a lot of Arc videos that get a lot of traffic that I can divert to the site, which makes a lot of sense. So I was like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give people the opportunity to promote their servers. And that's what we're going to do. It's going to be, you know, free to list your server for like, I think it's like 2 months. You list your server for 2 months for free, because a lot of server owners, they stop renting their server after a month because they realize no one's going to join. Like, they can't market. Like, a lot of them are shit at marketing. So I'm going to do a lot of more content around that to help people market. And that'll probably drive more sales, more people to the site. But basically, you can list your server for free for like 2 months. And there's some limited things. You can't add your own logo. You can't add a cover, photo, or video and links, stuff like that. But if you purchase a higher package, then you can add links, photos, that sort of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So there's a monetization strategy over there. But what I also added was a bunch of settings files that people could download and apply to their server. And honestly, this was supposed to be the secondary part of the site. But what I realized is that people are 100% more interested in getting their server set up in minutes easily with the server codes than promoting their server. Like, I've done polls on my community tab, and people have said, yeah, we're more interested in promoting our server. But when it comes down to the actual, you know, putting your money where your mouth is, people are paying for the server codes. They're not really paying for the listing. They may pay for the listings in the future, but I'm assuming, because I've made so many videos on how to set up your server, that it makes more sense that those sorts of people who are coming for those videos are going to purchase the codes over purchasing promotion. So that's how it's worked out for me. But I didn't know that. I didn't come into this being like, yo, I'm going to sell a bunch of server codes. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sell these settings codes. No. I came into it thinking we're going to sell promotion, and the server codes are going to be a side thing. And now it's totally switched. I've looked back and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. And I've just totally switched it around. Now I'm focusing on selling server codes because I know it provides convenience to a lot of people who don't want to go through all my videos and learn how to do the shit themselves. They watch the video, they're like, oh, okay, I got to do this and I got to do that. And they're, oh, that is long. I don't want to do this. How about I just purchase a server code and have it all set up for me? And today I'm going to be making more server codes to add to that of like my popular videos. I'm going to be making downloadable codes so people don't have to go through the long process themselves, and they can just download my personal codes that I've made, that I've tested to make sure that it works, and I've vetted and all that sort of stuff. And I've got, you know, a nice interface on the site, so it's a nice purchasing experience and all that sort of stuff. And they get customer support from me, which is priceless. It's priceless because I am on the ball when it comes to customer support. When you spend money with me, I do not joke. I want you to get the best experience possible, and I want to make sure that you get what you paid for and more. And yeah, that's been working pretty well for me. But I would have had no idea that this would have been a good business if I didn't just do it. If I didn't just do it and try things out and see what worked, I would have never gotten here. So I implore you, please do something, anything. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work straight away. Keep on doing. Keep on taking action. Give it a year, if anything. Keep on adapting. Keep on changing. If something doesn't work at first, if it's a business thing and you've got traffic there, if you've got traffic and it's not converting, like you've got something that you're selling and you're getting 1,000 people or hundreds of people to that page and no one's buying, then you need to think to change things up. Honestly, I wouldn't release a product without doing the product research and checking if people are going to pay for it. Now, that's what I've done. That's what I did multiple times. I wouldn't suggest it to other people. I highly suggest you do the research and see what people want and then do that. Because I play the long game and I know I can play the long game, I've had a little bit more lenience to do that, to basically like... I just create what I know that I would have wanted. Like my book, A Gamer's Guide to Greatness, I created a book that I knew that I would have wanted when I started out. And that's not even something that I'm focusing on selling. I really don't care if people want to buy it or not. Because I know it's going to help people. And the people who do buy it, I know it's going to help them. And then the people who join the membership, I know that's going to help them as well. And this is just my way of helping people and giving back. And obviously I charge a small price for it, but that gives me the time to dedicate a lot of time to it and helping people out, which is what I love to do. I like helping people. And the Arc PS4 server site, I knew that people are just terrible at promoting their server. I could see that so many people are just spamming and getting no players, and a lot of people just don't know about marketing because they didn't spend the years learning about marketing to market their music like I did. Like, a lot of people didn't do that. A lot of people didn't read a bunch of marketing books and test it out and see what worked and see what doesn't work and build a YouTube channel from the ground up to over 25,000 subscribers. A lot of people didn't do that. So I was able to bring my expertise to that field and help people out with that. And then I realized that people were more interested in the fact that I learned how to code these servers. Because at the beginning, I didn't know how to code these servers. I just kept on making videos that answered my problems. And then people started commenting, asking me to make videos that answered their problems. And then I just did the research. I just looked into it. I tested things out, and then I created videos that helped those people. And then over that process, I learned how to do shit. I learned how to be better in code and all that sort of stuff. So now people come to my channel, they see over 50 videos around coding your Nitrado server and all that sort of stuff. And they learn and they see that I know what I'm talking about. And then they see me as an expert. They see me as the guy to go to if they want their Nitrado server coded. And they come to me. They hire me. They hire me to code their server. They buy a package to do it themselves. They, do all this sort of stuff. And I've made the process super, super easy for them. When they download the package, there's a tutorial video that shows them how to use it and all that sort of stuff. I'm not just leaving people out in the lurch, and they can see from my channel that I'm very, very informative and I know how to explain things to people. And I think that is so important as well. But that's more on a customer user type thing. Right about now, we're just talking about get started, man. Get started, finish things, because when you do a bunch of stuff and you see what works, then you'll look back and you'll be like, okay, that's why that worked. And then you have the knowledge that you can use next time when you try something else out or when you try and expand. You'll know what works from that, and then you'll be able to implement that into your next endeavors. And then through that, you'll adapt, you'll learn what works for that. And then you'll look back and be like, oh, well, okay, that happens. And it's a long, slow process. Most people are not going to be overnight successes. And this is something you got to realize, and I just want you guys to start, instead of being insecure about failing, instead of caring what other people think, instead of not starting and not taking action, because it's so, so important. So please start today, move towards whatever goal you want to achieve and move towards it ferociously and continue going until you succeed. Like, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you work 2 jobs. Keep working those jobs. Don't ever give up. Because the only time you fail, truly fail, is when you give up. Because if you haven't given up, you haven't failed yet. Because one day you're going to get there. If you consistently keep on going, one day you're going to get there. And you can put in an hour a day. Don't lie and say that you can't. You can stop watching that EastEnders that you love watching so much. You can stop watching... Don't stop watching Game of Thrones. We've been over this. But you can stop watching one of these series that brings you, I don't know, a waste of time, basically. Like, you can cut out things that are wasting your time and you can put the hour in to consistently work towards something. So don't complain, don't moan, don't lie and say you don't have the time. Everyone has the time. It's just, do you prioritize that time? Is this something that you want to spend that time on? That's the real truth. If you say you don't have the time, you're just avoiding responsibility. You're just avoiding responsibility and trying to pass the buck and trying to be like, well, I didn't do it because I don't have the time. Bruv, you have the time. Do the thing. And yeah, that's this episode. Hope it helped get you guys into gear. Hope it motivated some of you guys to move forward and move towards what you really, 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 really want to do. And I really want to hear from you in 6 months and see what you've achieved moving towards a specific goal ferociously, because that's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. You'll learn along the way. Obviously, you can spend money to make that learning process a lot quicker. Like, you can buy courses, you can buy trainings, you can buy books, all that sort of stuff will help you get there a lot quicker. But even if you don't do that and you're broke like I was, like, putting the time in, like, when you're broke, you have more time. So do that and stay consistent. And leave a comment down below. Rate this on iTunes. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. If you want to learn how I got over 23,000 subscribers and millions of views on my YouTube gaming channel, then you are in luck. Sign up to this free course right now. Link will be in the card, in the description, and in the pinned comment. Or go to growonyoutube.com/20k SEO course. In this course, you will learn the best way to write your video titles, tags, and descriptions to help you rank on the first page of YouTube. It's simple when you know what to do. I'll also show you a hack that will help you choose the right key phrases and help you create videos that can rank and get views no matter what game you play. Stop struggling to grow your YouTube gaming channel and start doing what works. Click on the link in the description or go to growonyoutube.com/20k SEO course. This course will not be up forever, so get in there as soon as possible. I hope to see you here soon, and I wish you the best of luck on your journey of turning your passion into your career.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long, so all this warmth I share